Do you stare at this all day long or some other screen similar to this? Do you have any idea what it's doing to your eyeballs and your brain? You're going to find out right after this. Welcome, everybody. This is the Life Enthusiast Health Shots podcast, restoring vitality to you and the planet. I'm your co-host, Scott Patton. Joining us, as usual, health engineer Martin Pytela. Hey, Martin, how do your eyes feel today?
I can see you sharply. I can see you fuzzy. I can see you sharply. I am unfortunately suffering from presbyopia. I lost my ability to focus closer than about 3 feet by the time I was about 50 years old.
Wow. And that's what we're going to be talking about. Before we do, I want to just let everybody know that at Life Enthusiast, we specialize in helping people escape the industrial food, drug, and screen traps by understanding your unique genetic blueprint. We turn chronic degenerative problems into stories of restoration and pain-free living. In other words, wherever you are right now, if you're not happy because your knees hurt, your brain is foggy, you don't have the energy you think you should have or remember having 30 years ago, it's not permanent and something can be done about it. And that's why we do this show. So with that, we're going to be talking about your eyeballs. And unfortunately, most of us are putting up with the same problem. I have the opposite problem to Martin. If I put this on, it's hard for me to see the screen. If I take it off, I can see the screen. If I look out that way 20 feet, I know there are trees, but I can't see one leaf from another. And then I put this on, I'm like, oh, look at the bird in their tree there. I didn't see it.
And so you have just described short-sightedness and long-sightedness.
That's right.
So you don't need glasses for short distance, but need them for long distance.
Yeah.
Many other people are the other way around. They cannot see up close without glasses and see fine in the distance.
And
anyway,
it's a huge thing because if you go into a pharmacy, they've got this rack of reading glasses. They don't even need to know what your eyesight is. You just put these little glasses on and you can read. And
yeah, well, that's the presbyopia. That's the older age when the special muscle that is controlling the lens, like if you visualize the lens, it's kind of flat for long distance and it needs to bulge out for close up. And it's a muscle that pulls that lens like this. And that muscle is less capable. And so you're no longer able to focus up close. And you need to stick this thing in here to bring the focus closer.
Right. And this is exactly the reason why when my friends say, oh, get LASIK surgery and all the rest, like I no, because what I really like is to read. And what I really like is the fact that I don't have a problem reading. I take my glasses off and I can read just fine. But I've had no one ever say to me, well, when you get the LASIK surgery, you'll be able to read just fine. And I go, yeah, like for how long? Oh, 5
No, you
years,
won't. No, you
years.
won't. LASIK surgery will change the focal length, but it will not improve the muscle flexibility.
Yeah.
That, by the way, is done by anti-aging strategies, which will include strong antioxidants in the form of vitamins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So let's bring this. I'm going to bring something up and I'm kind of scared as to what it's going to look like, but here we go.
Yeah, eye health.
This is it from screen strain. I mean, it's not just sitting in front of your computer. It's
even reading books, Scott. It's no different, right? Like if you're doing any one activity that has your focus set at a specific distance, especially close up for extended periods of time, you are essentially causing the muscle to engage without relief. You had an awesome reminder, which was something like you're trying to hang on a bar, fists clenched, and at some point you just have to let go.
That's right. Or you're going to have cramps in your hands
Yeah.
and legs and
Or
everything.
you will permanently shorten the muscle.
That's right. So we keep talking about saber-toothed tigers and how we would be walking miles and miles every day and eating various leaves and stuff. And this is the same sort of thing, right? Like we were designed to be in the savannah, looking out for saber-toothed tigers and looking for deer to eat. And now all of a sudden we're looking, and that varies. I mean, it'd be miles away to the close bush, right?
Yeah, but
Now
also
we're
yeah.
looking one arm length away for 8 hours a
Yeah.
day.
Actually, anything from 6 feet out is essentially infinity. What's lacking is the ability to do things up close, like sewing a button on or threading a needle or any one the things that you can do easily
Right.
because of your abnormality.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so we're going to move on to this, and for some reason I'm at the last slide instead of the first slide, so we'll move here.
There we go.
The screen versus the sky. And like we spend way too much time looking way too close and not enough time looking far away.
Okay, so to explain, the screens are too rich in the blue wavelength and not rich enough in the red wavelength. And there is a setting on your computer, it's called evening time, and you can amber shift the screens, or you can start wearing amber glasses. You see some fashionable health hackers running around with amber colored glasses. But the point is this: you can look directly at the sun at sunrise or sunset. It will not burn out your retinas. However, if you try to do that at midday and look straight at the sun, it will be painful.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Remember how they were warning people not to look directly at the eclipse? Yeah, it's like looking at the welding arc or something like that, just burning your eyes out.
So this isn't just something that we're imagining. 80 to 90% of children nowadays are suffering from nearsightedness.
Yeah, the need for eye correction is very high.
It's really, it's awful. It shouldn't be like that. And our kids should not be watching their iPads 24/7. They should be out enjoying the yards and the parks and the forests.
Right on.
But it goes beyond just the eye. It's also starving our brain because we have a 3D biological system and a 2D digital focus. And that's just not good.
Yeah, this is the interesting bit, that the eye is actually directly connected to the brain. It is, in fact, part of your brain. It's just a stem with a bulb at the end of it that's sticking out of the brain.
That's wild when you think about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So here's the mismatch. We're designed for 3D and peripheral vision, which is supposed to be 180 degrees. So if you're looking straight ahead and you can't see, some people are.
You can take your hands and start moving them, and if you can still see them, at least, well, it's not a seeing, it's awareness, right? Like they're there, and so mine are gone when I put them this far. They're there when I do them here, right? Oh, wow. Well, I don't know if I'm in the field of vision.
The other thing I found really fascinating was the blink rate. Like, because we're staring at the screen, we're blinking 5 times a minute instead of when we're looking outside, it's like 15 to 20 times a minute. So I'm like,
and like moving air, like wind is forcing you to do that. Dust particles force you to do that. Your eyelids are sort of like the windshield wipers on your automobile.
That's right.
It's not the rain, it's the other environmental influences. But yes, the eyelids need to go up and down to wipe the surface and re-wet it, right? Like
Right.
the wetness is parked up above, and you need to swipe down to re-wet the eyeball.
Yeah. Otherwise, you have dry eyes, which is
Mhm.
a medical condition. The other thing that I was fascinated by and shocked was how the LUTs, the brightness, like how
Yeah,
bright is it
yeah,
when you're outside compared to when you're inside looking at
yeah,
a
yeah.
screen.
We used to call it the candle power. Now we call it in the lux units,
Yeah.
and it's amazing because, you know, an overcast day versus full sun day is about 10,000 times change. So bright sunlight is about 100,000, overcast is about 10,000, dusk is about 1,000, and here you are reading in a sub 1,000 unit light.
Right. So this affects the dopamine. So for those of us that don't know what dopamine is, what's dopamine, Martin?
It's a neurotransmitter that is the joy and the satisfaction of life. When you're starved for dopamine, you're always looking for a dopamine hit. And the classic dopamine sweetness is, I got a like. Somebody responded.
Right.
Somebody out there likes me. Little successes, whatever it is, right? We
Yeah.
can get dopamine satisfaction from sex and food and whatever, but here on screens, we usually get them from
Like,
approval.
oh, look at that. 100 people looked at my meme. Yay.
Yeah, approval.
Approval. So, and this, of course, is well known in the wintertime in the northern hemisphere where there's not as much light and people are depressed because they get no dopamine and
Yeah,
all that sort of
lack
stuff.
of joy.
Lack of joy. And then we have the muscles in
Yeah.
our eyes, right?
Yeah, so I was doing the demo with the muscle shrinking or not shrinking. That's the muscle that pulls the lens in such a way that it bulges out.
Right. So if that, and that, of course, that there's no need for that when you're looking, a foot away because, hey, it's the same thing and we're not looking far away. So it's really like if you, I'm sorry, I have this picture in my head of something I saw in a magazine 30 years ago, which was a number of famous East Indian, so Indian gurus. And what they did, Martin, was they put their hand up in the air
And left it there.
And left it there. So their hands and their arms just shrunk and shriveled. And some of them actually had a big stick that would hold their arm up.
Yeah.
And everything atrophied.
Yeah, absolutely. When you don't use it, it freezes.
Yeah. And this is what we're doing to our eyes because we're forcing our eyes to, where it's basically we're putting our eyes up in the top, up in the air, and we're not bringing it down and we're not moving it around. And so the result is you're getting more.
So here's the exercise. You want to focus very close as your eyes will allow. So, without glasses, for me, it's about 18 inches. With glasses, it's about 6 inches. Anyway, I focus close, and then I look away out the window or down the hallway, and I try to read something that's far away, or at least I try to do a resolve, focus on something that's 30 or 40 feet away. And I do that close, far, close, far, close, far. It's just the exercise of moving the muscle and changing the lens from close, far, right? You want to exercise it.
Cool.
And that was the focusing exercise. The other thing is yoga has some eye exercises, and it's done this way. It tells you to bring eyeballs in, and that would be this. Take a finger and bring it toward your forehead and watch the eyes. So they go upward and in, and then you do the other one. You take the lower and you bring them in. So the eyeballs need to go close in together and then back out again.
So you want to be cross-eyed.
Well, you don't want to be cross-eyed. You want to exercise your muscles. So not only do you want to focus and defocus, you also want to move the eyes in. And so when you roll your eyes up like this, that actually is a signal to relax. Is actually a sleep signal or go to trance signal. Like when you're going into a trance, your eyeballs actually roll up in your head.
Oh, cool. All right. So now we have the 8-hour visual descent.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you've noticed it. I do, is that in the morning, I can see quite sharp. And at the end of the day, 10 p.m., I see double. I can't quite focus. It's fuzzy and whatever. Tired eyes lose their ability to work.
Right. Well, and it's the same thing as if you were clenching, like you were talking about clenching, or I was talking about clenching your fist. If you do it for 8 hours, it's going to be shaky and not nearly as strong as it was in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because we're moving the muscle, you're relaxing the muscle, you're tensing the muscle, or relaxing one side and tensing the other side.
And at the end of your work day, you're like this, rubbing your eyes, rubbing your face, and can't focus, and then you get a headache.
There you go. We've just solved the headaches that everybody has.
Yeah, no kidding.
And here we go. The squeeze begins, right?
Yeah. Yep. Well, I just finished describing it.
Yeah. And I guess the solution is, first of all, knowing and awareness. And then secondly, making conscious decisions every few minutes to look away. We're not going to get rid of screens, right?
Yeah. Well, visualize a seamstress. Somebody's using a sewing machine and sewing. Same problem. Yeah. Visualize somebody reading a book, reading. It's too close. You need to do that regardless. The screen has an extra challenge with the blue light.
Yeah.
But other than that,
and also the lifestyle, right? I mean, if you're working for 8 hours and you're looking away as you're working or whatever.
Yeah.
But then when you go home, you sit on the couch and you watch Netflix for 4 hours. I mean, you're just compounding the problem, right? Whereas,
it depends what you watch it on, Scott.
You watch it on a big screen TV. Everybody does.
Well, that's relaxed in the distance. As long as you have the screen 6 feet or farther, you're in infinity. Your eyeballs are relaxed.
Okay. But you still have the blue light, right?
You have the blue light and you have the electronics that are putting the EMF into the space. It's a whole other
set of problems.
Yeah.
Better off just to go out into the backyard and enjoy.
Yeah. Watch the tigers mate.
Watch the tigers mate, or put up a hummingbird feeder and watch the hummingbirds come.
Yeah.
And then you have the physical pump crash.
Right. Now this is the crampiness of the eyes.
And you want to blink. And I never, before today, I never even thought about blinking.
Yeah. By the way, women blink more frequently than men.
Okay.
Noticeably. Yeah.
All right. And then the retina goes dark because outside is way more candles than inside.
Yeah. It's quite interesting. Many people lose their ability to drive at night with age, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that happens is that the lights become looking like they are, instead of a spot, it's like a starburst now, right?
Right.
And then when it starts raining and you have the rain reflecting off of the shiny road surface, they lose their ability to just navigate through the space because it's just so disruptive.
It's blinding. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And then after 5 or 6 hours, you have the systemic lock and disorientation.
Yeah.
The muscle is spasming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You can no longer control it. You just are spastic. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. You look up and the world is blurry because the muscle is stuck on and cramp.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is affecting your entire nervous system
Oh,
because
yeah, the brain. Yeah.
we keep coming back to this fish in a poor aquarium that's all full of pollution.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to, it requires a change in lifestyle. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And then the shrinking tunnel, we were talking earlier. A bit
Yeah,
about
this is
that.
the peripheral vision, being aware of your surroundings out there in nature. It's totally normal for you to know and have very wide field of vision. And
This, knowing this sort of thing helps explain behaviors of people around us too, right? Like we assume you've got two eyes, you should be able to see fine, right? But no, you could have they could have a very narrow field of vision, which is why they don't see you when you're walking by and they bump into you, or they run their cart into you, or they,
or
they're
you
driving and they, do something dumb. It's like,
or you come from the side or you come from behind, and they have zero awareness that's what's
right.
happening.
And part of it just could be a physical problem that they've got.
Yeah. By the way, think of birds and horses. They have their eyes on the sides of their skull, and so they have actually a 360 or 270 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we have structural damage after 8 hours.
Yeah, the eyeball shape is permanently messed with, and the lens is permanently shrunk. Yeah, there's the myopic eyeball, that the eyeball is elongated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see where it doesn't fit in. The focus is not on the retina where it should be.
Yeah, that's why you need corrective lenses to change where the focus is placed.
Right. So there was a recent study which is giving us some hope, and that found that 80 additional minutes outside per day caused myopia statistics in children to plummet.
Yeah.
So parents, get your kids outside after school.
Yeah. I have done
schools. You should have more recesses and have the kids running around outside.
Yeah, absolutely. I have done a podcast with a fellow that's advocating for, it's called myopia reversed or something like that. Anyway, if you search the word myopia on Life Enthusiast website, you will find a podcast that I recorded some time ago with a fellow who has been teaching people how to get rid of glasses, because you can exercise it away. You just need to work it.
It's hard work. I've tried that about 4 times, and I just haven't had the perseverance.
Yeah, you have the opposite problem, Scott.
Yeah,
you're not the easy fix. You're the hard problem.
Oh, you're making me feel good now, because I thought, oh, I'm such a failure. I've tried 4 times, and one of them was 3 sets of glasses, and he put 3, like 3 glasses, and put one on, put the second one, put the third one on, and I can just feel my whole brain hurting.
Oh yeah, it's hurting because it's trying to compensate for all the changes, and they're too rapid.
Yeah. All right. So the 20/20 rule is not enough. Oftentimes you'll hear, look 20 feet away for 20 seconds every 20 minutes, but it's practically useless for reversing 8 hours of structural damage. We were talking about this before we went on the air, Martin, and I remember saying, it's like you've got this forest fire and you've got a dropper full of water and you're trying to put out the fire with this dropper. When you're just overwhelmed.
Yeah, there's just not enough. Yeah, you need more exercise. You need more time away from up close, time away from reading, time away from screen time. Yeah. Or get the screen reader and close your eyes. Let it talk to you.
Right.
Switch to audiobooks.
Like, that's a really good idea. I like that. Okay, so we have some products on Life Enthusiast we want to share with you that if you have concerns about your health, and it's not just, where you are now. Let me ask you this question, Martin. Over time, like say from 30 to 70, is there a gradual decline in eyesight normally? would you say?
I think so. I started noticing that I was straining to read screens by about age 45. By age 47, I needed a 0.5s, and by 49, I did 1.0, and by 57, I was stuck with 2.0 for
Right.
my eye correction for reading up close, which I am arm's length away from my screen at the moment.
So the
And
last 10 years, have you noticed any difference?
no, I'm still on 2.0s, and I can probably do it in 1.5s now. What's interesting is that if I up my antioxidants, I have a much easier time with it. So
That was kind of the point I was going to make, because I've had 2 new sets of glasses in the last 20 years, and the optician. So, I mean, I don't know, and we haven't done any sort of like research on the studies, the stats, or blah, blah, blah. But an optician knows what they observe, right?
yeah,
And both of them said to me, they're both different opticians in different countries, and they both said to me, like, wow, your prescription hasn't changed.
mhm,
So for the last 20 years, and it was really funny because I got the new glasses, I was wearing them, and then I found my old pair, because you get the old pair, you keep it and you squirrel it away somewhere.
yeah,
And oh, there they are. And I thought, I wonder. And I put them on, and it was like, no,
same
no
deal.
difference. Same, and they're a pretty nice pair of glasses. I don't know why I hid them away. So I now have them with me in case I lose one,
Yeah,
which is a different problem. But I was going to say, one of the reasons I feel like my eyes have not degenerated over the last 20 years is because I've been taking the Excellent superfoods. I've been taking lots of good vitamins and
yeah,
minerals and
yeah,
that sort of stuff, and going
yeah.
for
When
walks.
you put yourself on adaptogenic herbs such as the Exula iridescenta, you are bound to be at least maintaining, if not gaining territory. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, pick one,
So
show one.
yeah, I'm going
You
to
got
bring up the
luminous
iridescent.
vision.
You just brought it up. So
Show iridescenta. Sure. That's our flagship product. It has, if you look at the list of ingredients, a good half of them are the ones that are responsible for maintaining the antioxidant balance in the body. It's the pigments, the I don't know, phycocyanins, and you name the long name.
yeah, and I want to say one thing too, is when you look at these list of ingredients, this is the reason why you don't find this type of product in the store, because every ingredient needs about $100 lab analysis in order to be approved to be sold in the stores. So
Yeah,
when you have 300 ingredients, that's $30,000 to make a bottle.
yeah,
And now, I mean, who can afford that, right? Elon
yeah,
Musk and Bill Gates, and that's it.
yeah.
So that's why you have
But
to
even
buy
still,
correct.
right? Like I remember shopping for iridescenta ingredients, and by the time I was halfway through the list, I was at $400, and this thing sells for 150. So
Yes,
it's that you pay individually, and you pay for encapsulation, and you pay for treatment, label, bottle, approval, whatever else, and markups. So yeah, this is all.
it's a high-end premium product.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is a Lamborghini at a BMW price.
yeah.
It's not a Chevy price,
No,
but
it's high quality, and I mean,
yeah,
$75 for the small bottle is amazing value.
yeah.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about luminous vision.
Right. So this is a tincture, and it's made in a very interesting way. This has terpenes re-injected.
What's a terpene?
Yeah, exactly. When you harvest a plant, a botanical plant, as a herbalist, you typically dry it out. And as you're drying it out, all the volatile compounds, they're called terpenes. They're the stuff that gives you a smell of a plant. They all evaporate. They get lost. And so when you make a herbal tincture, the old classic way, you only have the stuff that's left behind after the plant has dried. But you have the ability, when the plant is freshly harvested, using carbon dioxide extraction, you can extract terpenes. And you can re-inject the terpenes back into the mix after you have done the tincture. So that's what we do here with this Tibetan pharmacy,
Okay.
where you take the herbalist tool, make a herbal extraction, and then you re-inject the terpenes into it and bottle it, and it's ready to go.
Now, is this something, Martin, that you would take the eyedropper and you would just pop it into your eye?
Oh gosh, no! This is a nutritional.
Okay.
Caveat, people. I have all kinds of solutions that you can put in your dog's or your horse's or your cat's eye that I can freely talk about. And let me assure you, your dog's eye and your eye are physiologically very similar. Anyway, we have all kinds of products in the store that are eye drops. I just cannot advertise them for human use because the FDA says that if you put it in the eye of a human, it's a drug. And we can't sell drugs. So that's the story. That's why you hear about luminous vision. Now, if you want to talk about dogs and their vision, I have stuff to make the eyes less red and less cataract riddled and all the other stuff that I'm not allowed to tell you here.
Right. And by the way, this is a good time to mention that we are working on what we call the Private Member Association, where we'll be able to meet with you and talk to you about all sorts of things that for some reason the medical establishment doesn't want us telling you.
But we will have to be doing it as private meetings.
That's right.
Not public. They will not be published. We cannot put it on Facebook. We cannot put it on YouTube. It's it would
if we get on our soapbox at Hyde Park in London and start screaming about all this stuff, the police are going to
not even that. No. You have to do it in a smoke-filled club room.
That's right.
After you've entered the club and paid your membership due.
Exactly. All right. So anything you want to say before we head off into the sunset, Martin?
It is perfectly safe for you to get out of your house and stare at the sunrise and stare at the sunset. In fact, it's highly advisable because when you do that routine, the first thing in the morning, the light will reset your third eye that's behind over here, and it will reset your melatonin, and it will reset your cortisol. So you will be ready to take the world on first thing in the morning when you expose yourself to full face sunlight. And it needs to be not through the window glass. It needs to be out there.
Outside in the sun. Let all that beautiful solar energy just absorb into your body.
Yeah.
All right. Martin, thank you for taking time out of your busy day to be with us again.
Yep.
Every Wednesday we show up 2:30 p.m. Pacific Eastern time, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. Same Life Enthusiast channel, same Life Enthusiast time to riff on a bat character. So this has been the Life Enthusiast Health Shots podcast, restoring vitality to you and the planet. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
My body's a temple, but the walls are cracked. Stuck in the rubble of the years I've stacked. Stagnation in my veins like a river to the dust. Toxic whispers in the wind, but I gotta rebuild. I must.